What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the Sam Radio Sports Network, and today we have an interesting conversation to talk about. Now, I already put up a video talking about the stuff that happened with Kalen Ballage, but I want to kind of deep dive into it. So, I believe today on ESPN, Ryan Clark decided to rip Ryan Tannehill for the things that he did and kicking Kalen Ballage out of the huddle, yada, 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 yada. All the stuff that happened following the missed assignment that would have led to a sack, which the way that Charles Harris was coming could have also probably led to something more, an injury. I know Captain Kurt and Chris Perkins today mentioned on 790 that it could have been a career-ending injury. You never know. The way that these things happen, anything could have happened. I mentioned some of this in my video. But there were things that Ryan Clark hit on, things that Ryan Clark said today on ESPN that I want to comment on because it's something that when I was driving home listening to 790 The Ticket, listening to everything they were saying, frustrated me a little bit. Not only as a Dolphins fan, but I guess someone just watching in general, watching this stuff as someone who wants to be a part of the media. And I wanted to touch on it because it just didn't make, it quite didn't make any sense to me, to be perfectly honest here. So he touches on one point. He says, tell me what you've done. Who are you? He literally says, who are you? And the person asks, Ballage? And he says, no, Tannehill. Tell me, who are you? What have you done? And you know, okay, you could argue Tannehill has been in the league for, I believe, 5 years now, 5 or 6 years, 29 years old, quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, was leading them to a playoff chase, but still hasn't played off a playoff game. He did get injured on that Calais Campbell sack there that did not allow him to come back, ended up tearing his ACL, has been out for pretty much a year and a half now from football. So technically you can, you know, be there, you can proclaim, what have you done? And I get it. That, you know, kind of makes a little bit sense. What have you done? I get it, honestly. But then Ryan Clark, let me be honest here. What have you done? And take this for a grain of salt. For anyone who's listening to this that doesn't watch me, or any Dolphin fan, or even a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, Redskin fan, he was with the Giants for his first 2 years of his career. Hear me out here. Ryan Clark never went above 100 tackles in a season. He was never a all-pro safety or linebacker, cornerback. That's what they had him playing when he first came out. He was a linebacker, cornerback, safety. He was never the best defensive player on his team. He didn't make big plays in playoff games. He rarely made big plays in really anything, any huge regular season games. He was a hard hitter, I guess, but that's about it. He made one Pro Bowl in his career. It was in 2011. He made one Pro Bowl. I have it here on my phone just to confirm here. He made one Pro Bowl and was a first-team All-Pro once in his 13-year career. Played in only 8 playoff games, most of those with the Pittsburgh Steelers, dating from 2006 to 2013, going back to when he also played his one other year in Washington back in 2014, where he had a total of 1 interception and 68 tackles and 33 assisted tackles with 6 average tackles a game. Total for his career, he had 643 tackles, okay, 285 assisted tackles, so that's pretty good. 4 sacks and how many? Let's go. He had 16 interceptions. Right now, I'm just gonna, you know, let's just talk about this in general. If we go to Rashad Jones and his stats, I don't have them pulled up on my phone right now, and I'm not going to waste more time on the video going towards those. But so far, Rashad Jones has had a better career than you. And I believe that Rashad Jones is going into his 7th or 8th year, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I can look it up, I guess, right now. But so far, Rashad Jones has had a better career than Ryan Clark had in his 13 years in the NFL. And you can argue, Ryan Clark, what have you done? Besides, you know, the first-team All-Pro and the Pro Bowl. Yes, that is a decorated thing and that deserves to be honored, of course. What have you done? And he says, who do you think you are? We're all pros now. As in, like, we're all professional players now. We're all pros. And when I think about this, I'm thinking to myself, Ryan Clark, Kalen Ballage is a rookie. He's a very good 4th-round prospect. He will probably be a very good running back for the Miami Dolphins. I would guarantee it almost. But he's still a rookie. He's a rookie running back who, to be perfectly frank, hasn't proven himself yet at all. And these are things that I also mentioned in my video today that came out that you have to take account of. that as a rookie, you should be the one trying to learn and get better and know how to pick up your blocks and when to pick them up. You should be the one that's in the film room ready to do these things. You should be the one that's getting ready, looking at what he needs to look at, trying to find out what he needs to find out, trying to learn and absorb as much as possible. And to say that it was wrong for him to be kicked out of the huddle, okay, maybe, yeah, it was wrong. Maybe. Even that's a maybe. To chew him out, it's not a maybe at all. And we'll get to more of that in a second here. Continues to say, we're all pros, blah, 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 all this stuff here. Saying that, you know, well, to touch on that one more time, rookies make mistakes. Yeah, rookies make mistakes, but it's getting to that point where we're getting to the second preseason game. You've gone through your OTAs. You've gone through rookie training camp. You're about to end your actual training camp now. We're getting into the real practices here. You're in full pads today. Those can't be mistakes. The moderator there asks him, if it was Tom Brady, would you accept it? Or would it be right if it was Tom Brady? He said, if it was Tom Brady, I would accept it. Goes on to say, I've never seen Ben, Aaron, or Tom do this while being in practice with them. First of all, never played with the Green Bay Packers, so you were never under practice with Aaron Rodgers. Big Ben, I'm pretty sure, has done that before. And Tom Brady has chewed out his players during game, has yelled and had arguments with coaches during a game. We're not even talking about practice. If we want to do this in the way of Allen Iverson, practice, you're talking about practice. We're not even talking about practice in this sense. We're talking about an actual NFL game. The cameras are all on. Everyone can see this. And he's sitting there yelling at players, yelling at coaches, throwing things, all this stuff. And you're going to say, he sits there and says loud and proud, I've never seen Tom do something like this, but I would accept it because he has gotten and earned the respect. And some would argue that he is more respected than Bill Belichick. How is it that you can sit there? You're being paid by ESPN. And this is nothing that's wrong with ESPN. That's all the notes I have on my phone, by the way. So I'm going to look at that. There's nothing wrong on ESPN's part because they do their best to hire people who are going to do and fulfill the jobs that ESPN requires and wants them to do. And that's all right by ESPN because that's what they're, as the worldwide leader in sports, you are supposed to do whatever you can to get the best talent on screen that can give you the most views, that can get you the most traction to your websites, and that can start the most conversation about your not only website, TV channel, TV subscriptions, everything. Business-wise, Ryan Clark is probably very good for business. When it comes to knowing things, as someone who's supposed to be a veteran safety, someone who last played in the NFL in 2014, was trying to get jobs and couldn't, you should be one that should know that even if it is Tom Brady, if you're going to argue it's wrong, you should know that if it's Tom Brady, then it should still be wrong. You should argue that you've seen Tom Brady do it, and yeah, it wasn't right, but no one should be doing this. He says in his thing at the end, I would wish that more veterans would come out and talk about this. I would wish that they would come to the defense of this guy. You know how stupid that is? Even if you think it's wrong or not, the points saying that Tom Brady's never done this, there is a video evidence of Tom Brady doing this. To say, and Tom Brady, I would like to argue, is a nice guy. I would like to think from the interactions that I've seen from him, not personally, but just in general, I would like to think that Tom Brady is a nice guy. But he's done it multiple times. If it's wrong in your mind, it's wrong for everyone. It's not wrong for just one person. Because I guarantee if it was any other quarterback, Phillip Rivers, Deshaun Watson, even maybe, you could argue Drew Brees, anyone like that. I mean, if I want to pick like a mediocre quarterback, I don't even know. But you can still argue that that could be wrong. And to the defense of my own quarterback, I guess I would like to say, it could have been Matt Moore, who's no longer with the Dolphins organization. It could have been Brock Osweiler. It could have been Chad Henne when he was with the Dolphins organization. It could have been David Fales. It could have been Bryce Petty. It could have been any quarterback on the Dolphins roster that did this. If they were not a rookie, and this is somewhere where in a real game situation, they need that rookie to know that that block is vital to that play, to where if a defensive lineman comes through that gap and gets to him, he could have a career-ending injury. He could have a regular injury. He could get just blown completely to shreds. I would be at the defense of them because that should happen. There's certain extremes to go to. If you kept going and going for the next 2 days and you just completely ignored him, is completely different. But things like that should happen. It's not under the ways here where we can look at this situation and say, no, that was wrong. Because it was not wrong by any means. It was deserved in certain areas. And honestly, Ryan Clark sounded like an idiot today going on his rant that he went on ESPN. Hope you guys did very much enjoy this video. I will see you guys next time. Make sure you subscribe down below. Peace.